All right, let's just get right into it. Have you ever had one of those dreams that feels more real than your waking life? A place you've been back to so many times you could probably draw a map of it? Well, what if you went online and found out that thousands of total strangers were drawing the exact same map? Today, we are diving deep into one of the most compelling and baffling mysteries on the internet, Mall World. So, this whole thing really kicks off with Edie. She's a 59-year-old from Idaho, and for decades, she was living with this incredible secret. By day, totally normal life, running a business. But by night, she was exploring this vast, incredibly detailed, recurring world that she was absolutely certain was hers and hers alone. And this is the place she kept going to. It's now known as Mall World, and it's a genuine global phenomenon. We're talking about countless people from all over the world with zero connection to each other who all report dreaming of the same persistent place. And listen, this isn't just, a similar vibe or theme. It's a shared architectural space down to the details. Can you just imagine the shock? For years, Edie figures this is just her subconscious doing its weird thing. And then, one day, she stumbles into these online forums where people are sketching out the transit systems, the coastlines, the specific hallways of her private dream world with just haunting accuracy. And right there, that's the moment a personal quirk explodes into this profound collective mystery. So what is this place really? Let's take a tour and map out the key landmarks of this shared reality, because the consistency of the architecture is, frankly, staggering. At the very heart of it all, there's this massive shopping mall. It's like a monolith that feels kind of frozen in time. Everyone says it has this distinct 80s or 90s feel to it. It's not just a mall, though. It's also part school, part airport, part movie theater, and it's the central hub that everything else seems to branch out from. A lot of visitors also talk about a coastline that borders the mall, sometimes with an old amusement park on it. But the wild part is the water. People describe these enormous, impossibly huge tsunamis forming way out on the horizon. But here's the thing, nobody's scared. Dreamers consistently say they watch this huge, destructive wave coming, not with terror, but with this weird sense of calm, almost like a detached awe. And then, deep below the mall, there's this transit system that feels like it was designed to make you frustrated. It's a complete labyrinth of tunnels, and everyone mentions the same smell of damp, wet concrete. And all the signs, the maps, the arrival boards, they're all lit up, but the text is just a jumble of symbols and glyphs you can't possibly read. You're basically surrounded by useless information. Okay, and now we get to maybe the weirdest, but also the single most universally reported feature of Mall World. The bathrooms. They are described with just unnerving consistency. People say they're endless, like a maze, they're filthy, and they just completely defy the laws of physics. It's this bizarre, unsettling detail that almost everyone agrees on. So you see, this isn't just a vague feeling of, I dreamed of a mall. It is a full-blown blueprint. Sterile business centers, giant empty theaters, desolate roads that lead to nowhere. The real question isn't just why a mall, it's how are thousands of completely separate minds all working from the exact same, incredibly detailed architectural plan? How is that even possible? And it's not just the places that are the same, it's the people too, or whatever they are. Dreamers constantly report running into these entities that just don't feel like other dreamers. They feel more like part of the system itself, almost like NPCs in a video game. These workers all have this one thing in common. They're totally detached, bureaucratic, and completely unhelpful. The subway workers, they'll just point at the unreadable signs. The receptionists in the office buildings are just silent gatekeepers. They really seem like they're there to maintain the rules of the place, not to help you figure it out. And then there's her, a recurring female driver who just shows up when dreamers are lost. And she operates like a script. She takes people to these predetermined spots, usually a restaurant, whether they want to go there or not. Trying to resist her or change the route, it feels like you're breaking a rule, like creating friction in the system. Okay, so we have a shared place with shared, creepy inhabitants. The next logical question is, why? What is going on here? Let's explore 4 of the most compelling and pretty bizarre theories that have popped up from people trying to make sense of all this. So we're going to look at 4 big possibilities here. 1, that Mall World is some kind of digital simulation. 2, it's a leftover government experiment. 3, it's actually a natural part of our biology.
And 4, it's a crack in time itself.
All right, first up, the simulation theory. This one suggests that we are basically unwitting beta testers for some new AI or virtual world. And in this theory, all the weird anomalies are just bugs. Those bizarre, endless bathrooms? Well, bathrooms are complex spaces, maybe they're just hard to render, so the code is glitchy and unfinished. The impossible subways? That's a classic edge-of-the-map rendering error you see in video games. And that female driver? She's just a pathfinding script designed to keep data points, that's us, inside the active zones of the simulation.
Now, the government experiment theory. This one looks to the past. See, a ton of mall world visitors remember being put in these gifted and talented programs back in the 70s and 80s, and they recall these strange tests with headphones and flickering lights. Some even remember being given a mysterious pink liquid to drink. The theory here is that these programs, maybe linked to declassified stuff like the gateway process, were designed to tune young developing minds to a shared non-physical frequency.
But what if it isn't tech, and it isn't the government? What if it's just biology? This is called the mycelial mind theory, and it proposes that all of human consciousness is secretly connected by a hidden biological network, kind of like how trees in a forest talk to each other through fungal threads underground. From this perspective, Mall World isn't man-made at all. It's just the physical architecture of our natural collective human internet. And then we have the most mind-bending idea of them all, the shattered timeline theory. This one speculates that when they fired up the Large Hadron Collider at CERN, it might have sent a ripple through time itself, fracturing our reality and creating the stable, archived pocket universe of the late 20th century, a place we now slip into when our consciousness is untethered during sleep. But there's one more piece of evidence that makes this whole mystery even deeper, and it comes from Edie herself, the woman who started this whole thing. See, she has a pretty rare neurological condition called aphantasia. Now, this is so crucial. If someone who literally cannot create pictures in their own head is seeing a hyper-vivid, architecturally consistent world every single night, where is that imagery coming from? The gift wrap theory suggests they aren't creating the dream at all. They are visiting a real place. So while most of our minds might decorate the raw data with our own memories, that's the gift wrap, an aphantastic person's mind can't do that. They just see the raw, unadorned structure underneath, the shipping box. This might be the strongest evidence yet that Mall World is a destination, not just a dream.
And all of this, all these theories and strange consistencies, it all leads to one final question that goes way beyond a weird dream mystery. It really touches on the nature of consciousness itself.
Think about it. If our consciousness is truly going to this place, if it's connecting with others there while we're alive, it forces us to ask the biggest question of all. Is Mall World some kind of training ground, a transit hub, or is it a waiting room for whatever comes next? We don't have the answers, not even close. But for thousands upon thousands of people all over the world, the experience is real, it's undeniable. Every night, the doors to the mall slide open, the escalators keep running, and somewhere in that shared, silent space, the fluorescent lights are humming.